Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Potential intensity is going up. It's a forecaster's nightmare. If a tropical storm or Category 1 hurricane develops into a Category 4 hurricane overnight, there's no time to evacuate people. The intensity and unpredictability of storms due to climate change. Watch on to find out more.
Vegan, because how can we stand by and watch the brutality to the animal people?
Aliranju, Earth-loving viewers. That means, how are you, in the Quechua language. I'm Asiri. The vibrant Quechua people thank noble souls like you for always helping those in need. May you be blessed for your selfless actions through heaven's grace. Welcome to our program, The Intensity and Unpredictability of Storms Due to Climate Change. The increasing intensity of hurricanes, also known as typhoons or tropical cyclones, is the result of rising global temperatures caused by human-made greenhouse gas emissions. These storms are becoming more severe and destructive. Scientists tell us that as the Atlantic Ocean continues to warm, the changes in its surface temperature are fueling extreme storm activity. As more and more greenhouse gas emissions are released into the atmosphere, we can expect hurricanes to become more powerful worldwide, causing stronger storm surges and violent winds, and leaving massive destruction in their paths.
Well, there's a very clear link to the way that human activities have increased the risks associated with these types of storms. Climate change and warming has increased sea levels, and as a result, whenever any storm hits, water levels are that much higher just by virtue of that baseline having been raised, that gradual change in sea level. That means more area flooded when a storm happens and deeper and therefore more perilous waters associated with that flood. The second component is the amount of rainfall associated with a given storm. As we've warmed the atmosphere, as we've warmed the upper ocean, it can now hold more moisture. The storms themselves can become stronger with climate change, the actual strength of the winds, the depth of the low pressure. The balance of evidence suggests that the major hurricanes are going to become a little more frequent, a little more intense as we further warm the atmosphere.
Dr. James P. Cousin, a climate scientist from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, says it's very likely that human-caused climate change contributed to that anomalously warm ocean. Greenhouse warming increases the maximum wind intensity that tropical cyclones can achieve. This, in turn, allows for the strongest hurricanes, which are the ones that create the most risk by far, to become even stronger. Dr. Cousin's work on climate change and weather predictions reveal that a more significant percentage of upcoming hurricanes or storms of categories up to 4 and 5 will be expected in 2022. Dr. Cousin adds, the trend is there and it is real. There is this remarkable building of this body of evidence that we are making these storms more deleterious. Two striking examples are Hurricane Harvey, a Category 4 storm that ravaged the Texas coast in August 2017, and Hurricane Florence, which made landfall in North Carolina on September 14, 2018. With wind speeds of approximately 133 miles or 215 kilometers per hour, torrential rainfall from Hurricane Harvey caused catastrophic flooding in the greater Houston area. The National Hurricane Center claimed that over 60 inches or 1.5 meters of rain fell on some parts of Texas, causing approximately $125 billion in damage and taking more than 100 lives. Similarly, Hurricane Florence produced up to 35 inches or 0.9 meters of floodwater from torrential rainfall across the Carolinas and Virginia. Thousands of structures, including toxic animal waste containment sites, were destroyed. As a result, the floodwaters were contaminated by bacteria and hazardous chemicals. The cost of the damage was estimated to be $22 billion. In a more recent example, Category 4 Hurricane Ida brought heavy downpours to Philadelphia, Trenton, New Jersey, and New York City in early September 2021, with catastrophic winds of up to 150 miles or 241 kilometers per hour. More than 1 million homes and businesses were without power in Louisiana and another 90,000 in Mississippi. Craig Fugate, the former head of FEMA, says that the loss of electricity poses a serious danger to residents. We are still in summer, and so without electricity, it's going to be very dangerous for the elderly, for those with pre-existing conditions on top of dealing with COVID. The devastating impact of the hurricane caused $75 billion worth of damage, making it the most costly event of 2021. After Ida, on October 25, 2021, Hurricane Rick, a Category 3 storm, with winds as high as 115 miles or 185 kilometers per hour, unleashed heavy downpours on a path toward the Mexican coast near Acapulco. Yet, another devastating storm emerged in the same month. On October 29, 2021, Cyclone Apollo approached the Italian island of Sicily. It was reported that 5-meter-high waves buffeted Sicily's coast as the storm hit its shoreline. Strong winds, torrential rainfall, and floods were seen around the towns of Augusta and Syracuse, with the highest red warning alerts being signaled by emergency authorities in Sicily and Calabria, in southern Italy.
I have found that Sufis, during the period of their spiritual training, not only do not take meat, but also abstain from taking any kind of animal product. Professor Muhammad Al-Mamoun Al-Zanjani, vegetarian.
Attentive viewers, let's take a short interval now to pray for humanity to awaken to adopt the vegan lifestyle to curb climate change. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our show, The Intensity and Unpredictability of Storms Due to Climate Change. Significant scientific evidence exists that hurricanes are becoming more powerful due to climate change. A critical factor that plays a role in providing more energy to fuel up storms, cyclones, or hurricanes is warmer ocean waters. Climate projections suggest that with further global warming, Category 4 and 5 tropical cyclones or hurricanes are more likely to occur. We can expect these hazardous and extreme weather events to bring more damaging wind speeds and excessive rainfall rates. Professor Gabriel Becky warns larger and more intense tropical cyclones tend to cause more damage than smaller, weaker storms. So shifts toward a greater proportion of intense storms are of concern. Many other climate science researchers have reached a consensus that from 2022 on, more superhurricanes will occur over more areas of the Earth. Professor Kerry Emanuel reiterated the alarming news. Potential intensity is going up. It's a forecaster's nightmare. If a tropical storm or Category 1 hurricane develops into a Category 4 hurricane overnight, there is no time to evacuate people. A recent study by scientists at Yale University explored the possibility and severity of upcoming hurricanes. Their work suggests that potential hurricanes and typhoons could move toward New York, Boston, Beijing, and Tokyo. Their study was reported in the scientific journal Nature Geoscience. The study's principal author, Dr. Joshua Stadholm, says, "This represents an important, underestimated risk of climate change. This research predicts that the 21st century's tropical cyclones will likely occur over a wider range of latitudes than has been the case on Earth for the last 3 million years." Dr. Stadholm further warns, rising sea levels will result in more damage from hurricanes because they would cause more flooding. We also have an expectation that hurricanes will cause more rainfall as the climate warms and therefore present more damage. This warning is echoed by Dr. Alexei Fedorov, professor of Oceanic and Atmospheric Sciences at Yale University. Professor Fedorov says, compounded by the expected increase in average tropical cyclone intensity, this finding implies higher risks due to tropical cyclones in Earth's warming climate. A similar study was done by scientists from Colorado State University, or CSU. Their work, known as the Tropical Meteorology Project, concluded that a vigorous and intense hurricane season would be expected in 2022. This implies that imminent hurricanes will be classified as Category 3 or higher. Dr. Phil Klotzbach of CSU led the study and suggests that about a 65% chance of above-average hurricane activity will occur. Apart from the loss of lives and livelihoods, hurricanes can have many devastating effects on coastal cities and produce costly damage to property and infrastructures. Dr. Henry Potts confirms that tropical cyclones get their energy by sucking the heat from the warm upper waters of the ocean. He adds, hurricanes do a lot of damage and upend a lot of people's lives in very serious ways. One of the best things we can do as a community of hurricane scientists is to produce reliable forecasts so that people heed evacuation warnings. As the climate becomes warmer, more intense storms will occur more often, unless we do something to stop global warming. Our beloved Supreme Master Ching Hai has worked tirelessly to warn us that to save our planet, we must quickly shift to a vegan lifestyle.
According to researchers at Georgia Institute of Technology, United States of America, worldwide, the number of the most destructive Category 4 and 5 hurricanes has doubled over the past 35 years. Category 5 storms yield the highest level of destruction in major cities. Their intensity and duration also increased by 75% since the 1970s. One of these storms whose effects can still be seen and felt was the 2005 Hurricane Katrina, which devastated especially areas of New Orleans. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said that for the first time on record in 2008, 6 consecutive tropical cyclones made landfall on the U.S. mainland. The North Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean are the 2 areas with the strongest hurricane trends. You may ask, what is the main cause of this damage and destruction to the environment? Perhaps, surprisingly, it's not the coal industry or cars or planes or trains or boats or ships. It's methane, which is produced primarily by the livestock industry. A new and just published report by the respected World Watch Institute states that livestock is the largest single contributor to greenhouse gases, responsible for more than 51% of the total emitted. This report factors in an atmospheric heat-trapping effect of methane that is 72 times larger than CO2 when averaged over a 20-year period. We have to act now for all of humanity because along with our own survival and health, there is an entire planet that is in trouble. And everyone needs to be vegan to save it. It's a very simple solution that we might overlook. Because if we all change to vegan, put down the animal products, then we would have a dream world that I promise.
Our deepest thanks go to Supreme Master Ching Hai for your unwavering efforts to usher in a noble, compassionate vegan world.
All information concerning the scientific evidence of climate change and its solution is in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, From Crisis to Peace, free for download at crisistopeace.org.
There's no need to make war to see some land, because if you do that, you'll have more land, big hell land, just for you to roast, to torture yourself in with the help of the devils.
Discerning viewers, thank you for your loving presence today during our show. We hope that all of humanity will soon understand the looming dangers of climate change and how the warning signals are linked to greenhouse gas emissions caused by animal-people meat production and consumption. May we all clearly realize the urgent need to adopt the compassionate vegan lifestyle. Coming up next is Rakesh Shukla, the voice of Stray Dog, right after noteworthy news. May you be guided to live a virtuous life in heaven's divine light.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/PE.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/PE.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/PE.
Műsoraink sok nyelvet tartalmaznak. Kérjük, tekintse meg itt suprememastertv.com/schedule és suprememastertv.com/PE.